Welcome to the part 2 video for the Geometry Scavenger Hunt collaboration project. Today we're going to be working on the triangle and parallelogram theorems. We have all been given a worksheet. I didn't discuss this in the first part, but we all have a worksheet, and here it is that you're going to work with your partner. I didn't discuss in the first video how to fill this in, but you will learn in the second part. So we're going to, in this part of this video, we're going to be looking at the triangle midsegment theorem. You and your partner are going to search a world famous bridge and agree on the same bridge. You do not have to have the same image of it, but you just have to agree on the famous bridge. And you're going to be discovering together what the triangle midsegment theorem states and writing it in here on your worksheet. So I want to go over some of the mathematics that you're going to use, and actually the Geogebra tools as well. So first off, I went and I personally found this as a really cool bridge. It's the Donghai Bridge, and its location is in Shanghai, Asia. So I'm going to go to my snipping tool, and I'm going to snip, and I decided to snip the name of it because I think that would be great to have that in there so I know what the name of it is. Okay, so I'm going to save this as on my desktop as capture. Then I'm going to go to my GeoGebra and I'm going to upload it. Click down, capture, upload. Now I want to change some object properties. First one, I'm going to make the color light, then I'm going to make it a background image, and I'm going to change the position so it's the full GeoGebra screen. So I'm going to write down corner 1, corner 2, and corner 4. Enter. And I want to remove the axes, so I'm going to go here, the second icon over, and show axes and remove it. Now I'm ready to work with this triangle midsegment theorem. The first thing it says is you and your partner we got this far, I did, you're going to do this with your partner, upload it and overlay a triangle. So I'm going to go and make this kind of half and half so I can look at the directions. So here is my polygon tool, and I overlaid a triangle. I'm going to change the property so it's nice and bright. Now let's go back to what it says. It says create a midsegment using the midpoint tool. I'm going to show you how to do that. Underneath the point tool is the midpoint tool. The midpoint tool adds the x coordinates and divides by 2, and adds the y's and coordinates and divides by 2. Now click on this side, and there's the midpoint. And there's another midpoint. This is the midsegment, and this down here is the base. I want you to label this on your project. So you're going to write down midsegment, okay, and I'm going to move this over so it says this is the midsegment, you can't miss it, and base. And I want you to do this with your partner as well. And then let's read what it says. It says, then use the distance and slope tools. So we're going to use, it's underneath the angle. There is a distance. You're going to find the distance of the midsegment and the distance of the base. I'll just do one of those. It's kind of hard to read, but it is in here. It's right here, this distance. So maybe if I change my colors to something a little bit different, it might be easier to read. Okay, still hard to read, but it's 5.77. You're also going to find the distance of the midsegment, and also it said to use the slope tools. So you're going to go here and use the slope tools. You're going to find the slope of this one, and the midsegment, and slope of the base. Then you're going to go over to your file here, and I'm just going to make this a little bigger, and you're going to state the midsegment, and you're going to say something like the midsegment, I might start with a capital, of a triangle is something the base and something the base again. The first one has to do with the distance, and the second one has to do with slope. I hope this helps you on this part. Now let's go, it says insert and screen image here. So what you can do is go back to your snipping tool and just snip this, and you can snip it like this, and I'm going to save it as capture, and save it. Okay, and then when I go I close that, I want to minimize this. Right here I actually can drag, where is my capture? I'm going to find it, just a second. Right here, it doesn't look like the right picture, but hopefully it'll work. Drag it in. Let's see if that works. It says it's creating an image. Just give it a moment. And there it is. Isn't that really cool? All right, now let's go to the next part of this lesson. And it says diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So now you're going to look for a world famous building, not a bridge. You and your partner, you're going to agree upon the building and you're going to take your own image of it, upload us into Geogebra. Okay? So, and we're going to go through these steps together. So I went and I found the building of my dreams, which for to this project, and I looked around. Well, I really like this one. This is the Concord State House on Main Street. It's the State House for the state of Concord, and it's on Main Street in Concord. So this is our State House, our capital house for our state. So I'm going to go to the snipping tool. This is Concord, New Hampshire, and save as. I'm going to put on my desktop as snipping. Right there is my capture, and it's a really nice picture. So now I'm going to go to I'm going to go here, File, New, Don't Save. I'm going to start a new one, and I'm going to upload this image. Same thing as always is I'm going to change my opacity to lighter, background image, and my position. You should be a pro at this by now. And it looks like I don't have any axes up there right now. So let's go back to the worksheet. The worksheet says upload this image and using the parallel line tool, create a parallelogram over your image. Let me show you how to do that. So, oops, what do I have here? I'm just going to cancel this. So, let me make this bigger so you can see it better. So I'm going to make my parallelogram right around here. So I'm going to use my line tool, and here's going to be my first part. And I'm going to create, using this parallel line tool, my parallelogram. So I'm going to put a point over on the other side that I want for my parallelogram, and use this tool. It says select point and parallel line. Here's my point and here's my line. Now I'm going to create a line through 2 points. Now I'm going to make it parallel to this side. There's my parallelogram. I'm going to intersect. You've got to be very careful to make sure that you really intersect that correctly. Then I'm going to use my polygon tool, and I'm going to the left or counterclockwise on purpose, changing that to something bright. And now I'm going to show you something. Let's make sure this is a parallelogram. Opposite angles are congruent in a parallelogram. So let's make sure, let's check our construction. 90, 90, 89, 89. It is a parallelogram, and if I move any of these sides, always choose. So this is just what I want. I think I'm going to, I moved it around a little bit, so I'm trying to bring it back. So something that I want to work with. That's perfect. And now I'm going to turn off the lines because I don't want them. They're not necessary. So these green things, you just turn them off. And now, and I'm going to even turn off the angles. I know it's a parallelogram. I checked it. It's great. So now we're going to go to the segment tool, and we're going to create the diagonals, and we're going to intersect them. Now let's go read what our worksheet says. It says use the distance to find the distance of the vertices to the intersection of the diagonals. Well, what does that mean? Let's go see. What we're trying to find, if the diagonals bisect each other, we need to find, I'm going to go to my pen, this should equal this distance, and this distance should equal this distance. So you are going to use your distance or length tool to check that, and then go, and you can actually move these a little bit. Oops, I moved the wrong thing. Undo that. See if I can do that. Yeah, you can move these a little bit. And this one. So these two match. Now you're going to also find the other two distances. And then at the end, you're going to state this property of the parallelograms, that the diagonals bisect each other, insert your screenshot, make some observations of each other's work, and do the reflection. I hope this helps you for your project. I'm looking forward to joining you in the classroom, because at the end we're going to regroup together and see how this went for you. Thank you.